Women, what do you find most confusing about men? Before we start with the first story, please hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated with us. Number 25. How little they know about their friends. My husband was friends with a guy for years and didn't know how old he was.
Don't even know how old I am.
Number 24. Scrolls through channels on TV. Sees movie. Does not know when it started and has zero context about the plot. Watches the rest of the movie anyway.
And doesn't ask you what's going on because you've seen just as much as he has.
Number 23. How they make friends with everyone. Seriously, I was at work and saw two guys get in a massive screaming match, almost fighting. I grabbed security, and when we went to check it, the two guys were standing and laughing. They weren't even friends, they didn't know each other before that night, and suddenly they're best buds. Edit, because so many people are saying I shouldn't have gotten security, let me clarify this. I work in a bar, and if a fight happens, people are at risk. There are glasses that can be used as weapons. If two people are fighting outside the pub, we just tell them to take it elsewhere. And we have done. But the minute they are on our illegal grounds, it becomes our responsibility to deal with it. I wasn't overreacting, I was doing my job. Edit 2. I am a 5'1" woman, and I barely have customers listen to me when I tell them to stop doing stuff anyway, because people are. I couldn't have broken up the fight or argument myself. I don't get paid enough to deal with that anyway, and I had other things to do like serve people and collect glasses. Number 22. That guy can go from fighting and beating each other up to suddenly being back to friends. Are you guys really friends? Is it just taking frustration out on each other? What is it and how?
Two things. One is yes, usually it's just pent-up frustration/anger, and once it's dealt with, things go back to normal. Two is it's very, very easy for guys to become and remain friends. If we share just one common interest, we'll get along just fine.
Number 21. Why they will throw their clothing on the floor next to the hamper when there is a perfectly good hamper right next to them. Baffling.
Because I want to wear it again later. If it goes into the hamper, I've admitted defeat, and we'll have to wash them sooner.
Number 20. Those handshakes you do. How do you coordinate it? It baffles me. Number 19. Why do some of the guys I know turn into completely different people when around their friends? I've seen women do it as well, but never that big of a 180 as the men I know.
Essentially, men try to fit in with each other. We take in a situation and generally conform to one attitude, because that's the norm for that specific group. Most guys don't want to be seen as weird/different.
Number 18. What is up with having friends that give you an attitude, and it's all good? It's like you all like to torment each other and laugh about it. Not all men, just the ones I know. Number 17. In Dutch, guys call each other pig, which in English means D. But they say it in a friendly way because they're mates. Why call each other D? Number 16. How they absolutely refuse to ask for help. Back when we had no smartphones, we were trying to find my friend's street, and this guy I was with preferred to walk aimlessly for 30 minutes before I had enough and dared to ask someone for directions. Number 15. What's the deal with guys not wanting to use lotion or chapstick? Every guy I've dated thus far has denied my offer for lotion or chapstick when they complain about having chapped lips and dry skin.
I absolutely hate the greasy feeling of that stuff.
Number 14. Whether or not they're into a woman. Swear to God, one day they can display evidence of attraction, then the next it's like a switch went off and they want nothing to do with you. I've realized over the years sometimes it's just a bad day for them and not about me at all. However, I still can't read them lol. Number 13. I haven't noticed this with girls, but I've noticed that my husband will just stare out into space with severe concentration, and I'll be like, "What's wrong, babe?" And he will say something like, "If all of our pets attacked me at once, do you think I could fight them off?" I've seen other guys do this too. It's just so fascinating. We have a medium pit mix, a small Chihuahua mix, 2 ferrets, and a hamster. So the answer was probably yes. Unless he was asleep, then maybe the medium dog
could beat him. He simply spoke the thoughts out loud other men cover up with nothing.
Number 12. A guy asked my friend for her number. He never called. Something similar happened to me. Why even bother getting someone's phone number? Edit. In my case, we texted and agreed to meet up on a certain day and grab drinks. Fast forward to said day, a Friday, he all of a sudden texts me saying that he has to work now because his colleague called in sick. He works in a bar. He told me he was going to message me on Monday so we could set something up again, but he never did. I'm assuming he got nervous or met someone else. Number 11. Man talking golf to friends. I was on the third hole, my second shot. My ball was in the second cut about 6 feet from that big oak tree and about 3 feet from that big root that looks like a skinny chick's. I used my 3-wood and hit the perfect shot, landing just 2 feet from the pin. Wife, can you pick up a third child from school today? Man, what school does he go to? Confession. This is a made-up scenario to illustrate that I find it confusing that men can remember so much vivid detail about golf and not other things. I actually find it quite charming about my husband, how he remembers golf. The response used the third child because it would be much easier to lose track of where your third child goes to school. The first child, everything is new. But by the time a third child comes around, and you have kids possibly at 3 different schools, it would be easier to mix it up. I use this example as an exaggeration of something my ex-husband once said. The actual situation/comment was me. Will you go to a meeting at the second child's school at 7 o'clock? Ex-husband. Okay. Where is the entrance to the school? Number 10. Why men rarely ask for further detail. Husband and friend make plans to have a games night, starting 5 p.m. at friend's place. That's all the info covered. Should we bring any games? It is at dinner time. Are we eating there? Are we meant to bring food? How many people are we feeding? Who is going to be there? Nothing. He knows nothing. Number 9. I'm a man, but for the life of me I can't figure out why the F so many guys are totally okay with bad personal hygiene. I know there are dirty, smelly women too, but there are so very many guys with greasy, dandruffy hair, horrible, untreated egg, oily, nasty skin, long-ass nails, horrifying breath, wearing the same cheap, greasy, stained t-shirt 4 days in a row, not wiping your properly plus not washing while showering, and the classic smelling like a horse that was used as a sex slave by an inbred hillbilly clan. And of course, most of them are wondering why do girls flock over them. Number 8. What always confused me about my fiancé is how he doesn't know anything about his family or friends. I asked him why his parents moved to the city we lived in now. It's a small town, so I'm always curious how people end up here. And he's like, I don't know. So I went and asked his mom what brought them here, and she went into this whole thing about how when they got out of the Navy, Mike, fiancé dad, got an opportunity to be a partner in a company down here. My fiancé sat there slack-jaw and said, I just thought dad worked for that company. I didn't know he was part owner. We have had several of these types of moments in the past 6 years we've been today. It just amazes me he doesn't think you ask just basic questions. Number 7.
My wife asked me why I didn't understand her instructions half the time. I think it's because I can't read the context she has in mind. She, can you put the yellow thing in that thing over there? Me, find a yellow thing and put it in the box that her finger was pointing at. She, what the F are you doing? It's the other yellow thing and you're putting it in the wrong place. Me, dazed and confused trying to figure out what the other yellow thing is and where to put it, try again with a different object. She, facepalm, no. You're doing it wrong. Why are you so stupid? Takes other yellow objects. Me? Oh, you meant that yellow towel. Why didn't you say so from the beginning? She, I showed you 1,000,000 times before. You're useless. Ignore mode and sigh. I just wanted to make her happy and follow instructions. Edit. For those calling my wife a or abusive, rest assured we're happily married and have a toddler and baby at home. So while this was happening, we usually have some screaming kids in the background. Just accumulation of stress and frustration that makes her say those things. By the way, she said all of this in Japanese, so imagine a baka here and there. Adding to the fact Japanese is even harder to understand its context. Rid of the air, they say here.
Number 6. When you guys wear skinny jeans, where the F does your D go? Like, not sexually, but as a concerned person. Does that get tucked or something? Wouldn't that hurt when you take off your jeans at the end of the day? Edit. I now know why people say RIP to their inbox damn. Also, I do know guys who wear skinny jeans. They're a lot better in retail/warehousing, where I used to work, than those annoying dress pants. Number 5. Why does it take you so long to poop? Do you not have enough fiber in your diet? Our man poops unfathomably large to a woman and just takes so much effort to pass. Maybe you're just sitting there playing on your phone. Most men I've met spend at least half an hour each time pooping. If a woman spent a half an hour on the toilet, you'd be worried she passed out in there or something. Number 4. Apparently, men can go into mental neutral and not think about anything. If this is true, how the f does that even work? Also, hands in pants when watching TV/relaxing. Don't get it. Number 3. Why is it that if I send you a message that has 3+ parts, you only respond to the least important part? If I'm like, hey, I saw our mutual friend while running errands, let me know what you want for dinner, I'm about to go pick it up. And did you take out the trash? I get a response that says, oh yeah, Dave, haven't seen him in a while. Number 2. How I can tell my husband where something is and he can look right at it and say, with certainty, it's not there. Edit. In order to calm at least one replier in this thread, let me assure you that there is not a lot of sitting happening in this house. Get off your ass and help him. Her. Nor is anyone here so overly stressed that they literally lose their eyesight. This is a pretty common occurrence, evidently with scientific reasoning. Calm yourself. Number 1. Why are guys so apprehensive about receiving gifts? Buddy, I found a cool pair of socks that looks like a shark is eating your foot, and I paid next to nothing for it. Why do you have to act like you now have to pay for my college tuition? Can I not just give guys things for fun? And that's all the 25 best stories. If you like more of this, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. You can also share your similar experience in the comment below. See you in the next video.